there is a government that is in power. And the government that is in power is trying to shift the blame. And every single time they keep telling us it's something else. We soon hear that it is the wind. We soon hear that it's climate change. Every single time they try to shift the blame and give us some imaginary thing up there like tint. Listen to me, people. If this doesn't get your blood boiling not because it's the bees in power, but because of whoever is in leadership. If the DLP was in leadership and telling us this cock and bull story about tint, we should get on the same way. Why are we having to live in fear in this small little country? You're going to tell me you can't come to us and tell us the truth about where the gun's coming from? Why? They use a gun to hold up the old woman, the elderly. Are you coming to tell us this nonsense about tint? You're mad. In Jamaica, what started to happen? Only the rich people could feel safe. Only the rich people could feel safe in Jamaica. You know why? They went up to the hills and built gated community and had enough firearms in the house. That's what it's going to boil down to again in this country. But when they want the vote, they come to the poor and the lower middle class people, because right now the middle class wiping out in this country. And it is to us that they're going to come for votes. I say hit the streets on Saturday. Hit the streets on Saturday and let them know what it is that we want. We want to hear a proper plan from this government. How are you going to protect the elderly in this country? How are you going to protect the children? How are you going to protect the women? You did not even send out a proper notice notifying the women in St. Philip or anywhere for that matter about this thing. Thank God for Antoinette Connell and the nation. No notice, nothing went out because you do not care about us. And you know the thing about this loyal opposition? Do you know that there might be other women that have been raped by this nasty person going around? But because it's rape, they won't come out. A younger woman is not going to come out and talk to a news reporter and tell him that she was raped. A younger woman is not going to do it. We don't know how many women have been raped and there was no notice. I did not hear any notice from the police. My friends were telling me who knew the woman, sent me a message and said, Marcia, you're in St. Philip, be careful. We did not hear a notice because these people are trying to cover up everything. The time for covering up is over. Get out on the streets. Do you hear what I tell you? Before we cannot recognize this place, or we're locked up inside of our homes. I can tell you this because I lived it. I lived seeing me and my grandmother underneath a bed in the broad daylight. You hear what I tell you? Is that how you want to live? You know, let me just read something here. Let me read something here for you guys. Because this here, I am so riled up over this. Where is it? I saw something on this particular person's page, and what did I do with it? I was so sure that I saved it in the right place. Marcia, where did you save that? If you remember it, and the person who sent it to me today, can you send it for me? Can you send it? Send something. It was on Eric Lewis. This is a guy who from MAD, and he's always putting up stuff, congratulating the government. This is not a negative anything about Eric Lewis. Or can somebody go on his page? He posted it today, and he was talking about how he went to the bank to pay, to make a deposit or withdrawal, and he got scared and left. Somebody sent it to me, and I want to read it. And I want to read it because here is someone who uses his post to prop up the government. And I'm using it as an example to say to us, those of you who are listening to me, and you normally vote a particular way, you normally vote for the BLP. Listen, can you really just stop all of that? Can you hear me outside of those colors tonight? I've lived it. You hear what I tell you? Don't mind their saying I need to talk about Jamaica. I'm telling you about Jamaica. And do you know what it felt like to come to Barbados? And I could keep my doors open 10, 11 o'clock at night. Do you understand what that freedom was? How strange it was to me. Ask my family. And when we moved here, every time I was going to lock the door, and I would be told, you don't need to lock the door. I'm locking up the house. Marcia, open up the house and let the wind come in. Do you understand what it does to your psyche? Do you understand how you feel like a prisoner in your home with all the burglar bars around your house, on your windows and your doors? Do you understand that? You understand that when night comes, you have to go inside of your house? Do you understand that my mother was standing outside at her gate talking with somebody, and she just felt her stomach hurting, and she said, let me go in and get a cup of tea. I'm going to put on the kettle. And by the time she goes in, the kettle go, wee, and she mixing the tea. She hear gunshots, and the lady she was standing up at the gate was shot and killed. She went out there. Her friend was in a pool of blood. Do you understand that? Do you understand that as a little girl, at about 7, 8 years old, I looked through the window and I saw gun butts coming through the louver window, and we had to run. They take everybody in the 90 and we run through the back. You understand? Is that how you want to live? And then have the gall to come and tell me I can't say anything? When a country that I have come and I've been a part of this country, and I see the country spiraling down into decay, and I'm supposed to not say anything? A country where our family paying taxes in? You mad? A country that I travel to promote? Where were you when I was traveling to promote this country? You know how shame I feel when I go to Dominica and they're telling me about the crime they're hearing in Barbados, and they're telling me that they probably have 1 or 2 persons killed every year. You know how shame Michelle and I would feel listening to that? And you have the gall to come and tell me I cannot speak on that. I can speak about it because I lived it. And if there's one thing I know I'm here in Barbados to do, if there's one thing I know I'm here to do, it's to warn you. I did in Hush 2 under the DLP. I did in Vigilante the Crossing. I was on Kadooment on the Walk Holy Band when the gunshot fire off. And I was one of those condemning it and calling on the government to do something. So don't come and tell me nonsense. People, enough is enough. That's why I went on the street and we had the solemn marches. And some of you very ones, when you heard I was going to do the solemn march for Jonathan, said, oh, you're not coming to be involved in no politics. Well, I was calling you to politics. Some of you so dumb. Some of you are so dumb. Some of you behave as though you are just wound up. You can't see anything. You can't look beyond. Thank God for Stephanie Chase. Yes. Stephanie Chase contacted me. Stephanie Chase from Chase Files. Dunks from Dunksman. Thank you for Don. They have big social media profiles. I even saw this other man, I can't remember his name, that talks about his granny. I think D2 or somebody was posting up this stuff on the Jonathan March. They did. And though we understand where Stephanie Chase, where her loyalty lies, we understand there sometimes it seems, where some of them, I want to be, I don't want to label people. You understand? But what I'm saying is that Stephanie Chase picked up the phone and called me and said, Marcia Weeks, I saw you're doing this. What can we do to help? And some of you are going to say, oh, but she said this something bad about you last week. Yes, we understand that. That was then. What I'm talking about is this. I am saying, can we love Barbados enough? Can we love this country enough to stop seeing colors? Thank you, Stephanie Chase. Thank you, Dunksman. Thank you, D2. You understood the assignment. And you use your platform. Thank you, Don, young man, who came and said, Marcia, I'm going to help you. He didn't just call me. Yes, the others called me and they used their page. Don used his page, but Don turned up. Don delivered the T-shirts for the people that morning. Went and paid them for me for the T-shirts so the family could get the T-shirts. The Jonathan Chase's family could get the T-shirts. Don, lift up my hand. A young man, not even 30 years old. I was so weak that morning, emotionally weak. I thank God for, what's her name? I wrote down the names because I don't want to forget. These people who understand the Senator Drakes. What's the first name? Senator Crystal Drakes, that independent senator. She was down there. She wasn't dressed up. My girl was in her short pants. I didn't even recognize her. She came and tapped me on my shoulder and she said, Marcia, I heard the call and I'm here. She said, you called and I answered. That's what Senator Crystal Drake said to me. So don't come talk to me about no party, nothing. Huh? What about Trevor Prescott? Huh? What about Trevor Prescott turned up and Trevor did not come? Honorable Trevor Prescott, let me address him properly, did not come and ask me to speak on any mic. Honorable Trevor Prescott stayed far away and just wave at me and smile. He understood the assignment. All of the DLP politicians who came and stayed in the background. I saw one or two, and it's afterwards I heard that they were there. Nobody tried to hug anything because guess what? The love for Barbados, that divine love for our country, the love for Barbados superseded. Guys, please, I apologize for my my shouting tonight, but I am incensed by this nonsense. You come in all of what is happening. Send a thing from it from Eric Lewis or somebody. Somebody sent it to me today. Thank you. Thank you. I have this lady. She's always got me. She always got me. Thank you, my darling. You know who you are. Oh boy. Let's see. I don't have, I should be able to see it. I don't have Facebook. Let's see. I'm not seeing it anymore. Can you copy it? The sister who sent it to me, I want to read it before we go into Dominica stuff tonight. Can you copy it for me, please? I don't know. I was able to see it today, but as you know, I don't. They took my Facebook. Okay. Oh, yes, Dave. Thank you. Thanks, Dave. So Dave is going to put it up. And this is nothing to bash Eric Lewis. I'm not into bashing Eric Lewis. Okay. I am just saying, look at what has happened. And that's how what he wrote is what I'm feeling. Why should I have to feel that way? Living in this beautiful country. Why am I going to feel so shame? Right? Is this there? Okay, I want to do this. I want to share this before we move on tonight. I want to share this before we move on. I tell you, the righteous indignation. Enough is enough. I don't care what party you're from. Stop the nonsense, please. You could imagine what would have happened. I sent it to you, Dave. You could imagine what would have happened if the BLP was in opposition. This government this country would be locked down right now. We deserve to pause. We had a moment with Jonathan Chase to pause, and we did not pause. Now we had a 17-year-old cricketer. Oh, blessed be to Jehovah God for protecting him. You can understand a 17-year-old boy, his body riddled with 4 metal gunshots go through his body, not rubber bullets. 4 gunshots go through his body. 1 went through his chest. Huh? You could imagine that? He plays to represent Barbados in cricket. Every time I think about it, I don't know, this thing gets me. And you come talking nonsense. You come talking with some foolish bill. You come to tell us, show us some nonsense bill. You come to talk to us about where is the bill with the tougher laws? Where are the tougher laws for gun possession? What about the people who are bringing in the guns? Why have you not given us a report on that? Everybody and their grandmother know the people on the streets who are bringing in the guns. Everybody can rattle off the names. I remember in 2012, I guess Eric Lewis post here, I'm going to get to it. I was filming 20, oh goodness, these dates. I was filming Hush 2. And I had to, repeat, Dave? 2009, thank you, Dave. 2009, filming Hush 2. And I'm telling you the God truth. We had to film in Deacons. You know that before I filmed in Deacons, you know what I had to do? I had to get permission for the Don, whoever was in control up there of the Red Sea from that time, 2009.